All right, so it's springtime here in Arizona, and that means pollination. That's coming up next. Hello everyone, this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and we're coming to you here today. It's actually the middle of March 2019, and spring is absolutely here. We have got growth just exploding all over the farm, so we wanted to share a few videos and starting with the springtime and what that means for our fruit trees. So first things first would be we need fruit, which means we need pollination. So we're going to start with that today. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple different ways of pollinating. This first video today, we're going to show you kind of the more traditional way of ensuring pollination and, more importantly, cross-pollination in varieties of different types of fruit. So what we're going to be talking about today is the multiple varieties that we have of different things like apricots, peaches, plums, and different plum varieties, and then ways you can ensure that you're going to get the most fruit production. So let's start first with pollination. So we know there's several ways that trees can be pollinated. Primary way would be through bees. So with traditional planting, so when you're looking at your trees and where you're planting trees, certain varieties require a cross-pollinator, which simply means that it's not self-fruitful. If you plant just that tree, it either won't produce fruit by itself, or it won't produce very well, so it won't produce very heavily. So some trees require another tree that's similar, not necessarily the same, but similar, in order to get a good fruit production, either any at all or a much heavier production. So here on the farm, the vast majority of our trees are self-fruitful, which simply means they do not need another tree to help pollinate. However, all of the trees, with few exceptions, can really use the help of a pollinator with some cross-pollination to ensure maximum production. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the traditional way of doing that. So what you see behind me here, this is our Florida Prince peach tree. You guys have seen this before. I'll link a video here which you can see us actually harvesting off this tree behind me. So this tree is planted on purpose next to another peach variety right over there if Lori wants to scan that way. That's our desert gold peach. You guys have seen that as well. Now these two trees are self-fruitful. They don't need each other in order to produce peaches. In fact, there's peaches on there. However, they'll produce more heavily if they have some cross-pollination with another peach variety, which is the reason why we have them planted this way. So they're about, from trunk to trunk, they're about 14 to 15 feet apart, which is plenty of space as far as having them close enough together for bees to go back and forth between these trees. And of course, we've got trees all around us, so they're kind of going everywhere having a party. But particularly for these peach varieties, we're getting some cross-pollination. If Lori wants to scan that way, what you'll also see is you'll see two more peach varieties in different stages of spring fruit set and flowering. So you've got our donut peach, which we haven't talked about before, on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is our tropic snow. So you've seen that peach as well. Now you can see we've got these trees all planted together, and that was on purpose. So we have our peach trees together so we can get as much cross-pollination as possible, because obviously we want to get the heaviest fruit set possible. So this would be the traditional way of planting your trees so that you get cross-pollination between different varieties, either to ensure fruit set or to increase the amount of fruit production that any given tree is going to give you. So just want to thank you for joining us today. You know, if you haven't done so already, hey, subscribe to the channel. You know, we cover a lot of things here. We're going back into fruit production season and our trees are just exploding. So would love it if you would subscribe and follow us along there. You know, if you haven't seen it already, we're moving on to a 6-acre property, turning flat desert land into a functioning farm. So would love it if you would join us for that as well. You know, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. And then Instagram, Facebook, if you haven't seen us there, hey, do that too. So just want to thank you for joining us today and remind you, if we can farm on the edge of nowhere, so can you. And this is Dwayne with Edge of Nowhere Farm, and can you see me talking? Yeah. Oh. Do it again.